Archie, hi. What do you have in the red and blue towel?
It's not towel. It is my teddy bear.
Oh, can I see?
It's my teddy.
Oh, can I see it? Oh, very cool. I see the flag from the United Kingdom, from England. Did you get that on your trip?
Yes.
That's great. Well, I'm glad that you keep that with you when we have class. That's fun. Okay, let me share my screen with you.
Mine? Okay.
Okay, I have been having some funny technical difficulties today. So oh, good. Looks like it's gonna work. Great.
Well, I'm shy, Claire.
That's right. So let me get rid of our star. And we finished yesterday by looking at a video of someone bowling a strike when they knocked all of the bowling pins over. And they are using that picture to compare having Swift Paws, who turned himself into a bowling ball, knocking over two of the bad guys, the ones that were named 1 and 2.
And Lady Wonder Whiskers.
She took care of number 3.
Just use Taekwondo. Boom, boom, shang, boom.
Exactly. Okay, so it says, in a matter of minutes, all 3 of Tony's bodyguards, okay, were down. All right, so we're going to start right here. And their boss says to them, well, don't just lie there. Their boss yelled, get up, rats, capture those super pains. Do it now. Do you know what it means to capture?
No.
That means to catch them, right? Like in a net or with rope or somehow to be able to catch them. Like actually, do you remember when the Heromice first went into the lab, the secret lab, and the Tony Sludge and his sludge mobile came in, and they quickly captured or caught the Heromice and tied them up and hung them like sausages. And then the invisible thief came by and rescued them, right? So now Tony Sludge wants his number 1, 2, 3 bodyguards to do the same thing again. Suddenly, I looked up to find Tony Sludge towering over me. Gulp. That's the end of that page. Let's turn the page. Oh, well, let's stop for a minute and just look at the picture. Wow. What do you notice in this picture? I see here's the sludge mobile, which broke through this wall. And I can see, I don't know if this is 1, 2, or 3, but they're down. This must be number 3 because you can see that Lady Wonder Whiskers, I think that yellow thing on his, no, well, wait a minute here. It's kind of hard to follow what's going on. Oh, I think this right here, that white line is showing that Lady Wonder Whiskers jumped here, maybe did a kick, and then went off of him. So I think he's number 3. I think he's down because of her Taekwondo or Kung Fu. And that means that here's Slick Fur as the bowling ball, and I think he took care of these 2. So I think these 2 are 1 and 2. And then here's Geronimo, and he can see Tony Sludge is much taller than him. So we say he's towering over him. It'd be like looking up at a tower. And here's the invisibility machine, and here's the invisible thief. So I want.
No, that is just mouse. That is not the invisible thief.
Well, Griff Mouse is the invisible thief. But let's see what happens next. Any predictions? What do you think? You know, one thing I noticed here is look at this green gunk kind of dripping here and a spider web. Why do you think the author put that there? Or the illustrator?
Because they are very stinky.
Yeah, it's stinky. In fact, I also noticed the dripping going on here, here, and then all of this green liquid that's around here. So what is this place? Where are they?
In Mama,
It starts with this. Sewer.
sewer.
Yeah, the sewer. That's right. The way we spell that is like this is how we spell the sewer. Okay. Well, we have to go back a page to see we're starting here right in the middle of a sentence because there's not a capital letter here. So I need to go back 2 pages to see how did it end. Okay, so it ended with he. So then I need to ask myself, who is he? Suddenly I looked up to
It's
find
Tony.
okay, Tony Sludge is he. So that means Tony, he looked like Tony Sludge looked like he wanted to break every bone in my body. Oh, I think I'd be a little scared. But before I could turn tail and run, I told you, I'm not cut out to be a hero mouse. An invisible paw grabbed me. Before we find out what Griff Mouse's great idea is, I want you to take a look at this cut out to be. Okay, when it says, I am not cut out to be. I think we talked about this one other time because I think this is the second time the author used this phrase. When we are cut out to be something, it means we have the right skills and talents and abilities and interest to do something really well. Okay, so for example, I am not cut out to be an astronaut because I would not like to be inside a spaceship for a really long time. I would want to be able to go out the door and feel free. But I feel like an astronaut has to stay inside a spaceship for a really long time. And I don't think I would like that. So I am not cut out to be an astronaut. Okay, so that's what that means. What do you think that you might be cut out to be, Archie? Is there a certain kind of job that you could see yourself doing? Someday?
No. Nope.
Can you see yourself being an author? I can see you doing that. Could you see yourself being an illustrator? Drawing pictures?
No. No.
Could you see yourself being an architect? Someone who designs houses and buildings? That's good for someone who likes math and drawing and art. Could you see yourself being a doctor?
No.
Could you see yourself being an airplane pilot?
No.
Kristen would like to do that. Could you see yourself being a landscaper? Someone who designs all of the gardens and sculptures and fountains that are outside of a building or outside of a house?
No.
Could you see yourself being a fireman?
No.
A helicopter pilot?
No.
Okay, it's going to be a surprise. I can't wait to find out. In about 15 years, I'm going to find out, what did you decide? What are you doing? I bet I will be surprised. But you have lots of time to figure out what you are cut out to be.
Maybe an artist.
That would be good. Yeah. Okay. So this is what Griff Mouse says to Super Stilton. He says, I've got a great idea, Super Stilton. Griff Mouse whispered in my ear. While your hero partners, that's Lady Wonder Whiskers and Swift Paws, distract, that means keep them busy so they're not paying attention, the sewer rats, we will turn on the invisibility machine. I will make myself visible again and grab the diamonds. Then I'll destroy, okay, that means to break, my invention once and for all. That means it will never again be able to be fixed. Once and for all. So let's see, we had a couple words that we talked about here. Distract, destroy, and also this phrase, once and for all. Okay. Great Gouda. Well, Gouda is a type of cheese.
Yes.
Griff Mouse's plan might actually work. It sounds like a good idea. So while my friends tried to keep the sewer rats busy, that's number 1, 2, and 3, Griff Mouse and I quietly scampered, that's what mice do, they scampered up to the invisibility machine. Griff Mouse jumped in and dun 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 dun. Blue lights flashed and slowly a rodent figure appeared inside the machine. He had short, dark hair and wore a white lab coat. I did it, cheered Griff Mouse, a wide grin on his snout. But before we could celebrate our, boy, he looks happy. His machine actually works. But it says, before we could celebrate our success, Tony spotted us. Stop them, he ordered. One dashed, that means ran, toward me, so I took a super leap. Hey, I jumped. You can see number 1. You watch these red dots. You see here where it says number 1? That goes with this number 1 picture where he does a zoop. A leap is a big jump. So he did a big jump. Unfortunately, when I hit the ground, I tripped over my cape. That's number 2, which is right here. So here's where he trips over his cape and bounced like a super ball, coming to a stop when I hit my head. Bonk. That's number 3. Super bonk right here. It's like, oh, my head. Now, when we fall down and bonk our head, we might get a little confused and we might say, who am I? Where am I? What happened? As I brushed myself off, I heard my super partner squeaking at me. Get out of there, Super Stilton, yelled Griff Mouse. Move it, shrieked Swift Paws. Run, cried Lady Wonder Whiskers. Huh? What were they talking about? Now this word, huh, can you say it? Huh?
Yes.
This is not a word. You will not find it in the dictionary. This just is a sound that we make in English when we are confused, yes, when we're asking a question. It's kind of like
that is what? A sound, just a sound. Sound.
Huh? All right. Oh, remember this sound. That's when the invisibility machine is working. Frying fur balls. By the time I realized I was inside the invisibility machine, it was too late. A flashing light hit me. I looked at my paws. They had become transparent. Now, this is a little bit of a hard word here. I'm going to write it down underneath it here. T-R-A-N-S, transparent. But this does not have anything to do with a parent, which is a mom or a dad. This word, transparent, means you can look right through it. Like a window is transparent. You can look right through it and see what's on the other side. So if his paws or his hand had become transparent, that means he could look right through it and see what's on the other side of it, which means what just happened to him?
He's invisible.
That's right. I looked at my tail. It wasn't there anymore. I looked at the tips of my whiskers and watched as they disappeared. Usually when we say someone disappeared, it means that they left the room so fast we didn't notice. But this time he really is poof. You can't see him. He's still there, but you can't see him. Great galaxies. I had become an invisible Heromice. Boss, look at that, Slickfur said gleefully, which means very, very happily. He's very happy about this. The machine works perfectly. In the meantime is a phrase we use. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. In the meantime, another way to say in the meantime is to say meanwhile. Meanwhile and in the meantime mean the same thing. You can put that at the beginning of a sentence, and it means there's something else happening at the same time. And what it is that Tony's evil assistant, that's Slickfur, was putting on the gas mask. Uh-oh, you know what that means. Pink laughing gas, and pointing the tube of side-splitting pink paralyzing giggle gas at Griff Mouse and the other Heromice. Ham and holy Swiss cheese. We were in trouble again. You think that Geronimo is going to come to the rescue?
Yes. I know Switchbox will be a fan, and the pink gas come here, and the pink cat go back to the bad guy, and the bad guy will laugh.
Oh, well, let's see. This chapter is called Big Bouncing Cheese Balls. Huh. I can't imagine seeing cheese balls bouncing. Put the invisibility machine on the sludge mobile, Tony instructed his henchmen. His henchmen are his bodyguards. Those are the three guys with the big muscles that are not supposed to do the thinking, but they're supposed to do the heavy lifting. As 1, 2, and 3 lifted the machine, Slickfur turned to my hero partners. Prepare yourselves, super fools, he squeaked. You're about to be paralyzed with laughter. That means you're going to be laughing so hard you can't move. Right here. The evil rodent snickered. I cracked myself up. Do you remember all of those SN words we talked about the other day? We had sneered, snorted. And
yes.
Then one was snickered. And then also we had scoffed. So here is snickered. And this is kind of to laugh in a way that's really not very nice. He says, I crack myself up. We did hear cracking up the other day. That means you're laughing. If you crack yourself up, it means you say something or do something that makes yourself laugh. So if someone says, I crack myself up, that means I do something or say something that makes me laugh. Slickfur was still chuckling to himself. That means he's laughing. When Swift Paws whispers to Geronimo, it's up to you, Super Stilton. I froze, right? Can't move. How could I save the day? This is an expression, save the day, that we use when we're going to be the hero and we're going to do something that saves everybody. But poor Geronimo, remember what we learned about him back on the character page? He has a hard time using his superpowers, and he's not very confident, and he kind of messes up a lot. and he gets nervous really easily. And, you know, he's just, he doesn't really think he's the right hero mouse to save the day. But he's the only one that can do it. So let's see what happens. I had to think of something. Everyone was counting on me. Geronimo Stilton. No, scratch that. They were counting on me, Geronimo Super Stilton. So this phrase, counting on me, if someone is counting on you, they are depending on you. They know that you can do it, you can help, and they believe in you. And this phrase, it says scratch that, it means never mind, forget what I just said, I'm going to say it differently. So he says they're not depending on Geronimo Stilton, the regular person who works at a newspaper. They are depending on Geronimo Super Stilton, the hero mouse. Suddenly, I had an idea. I crept up, sneaking up to Slick Fur without making a sound. As Griff Mouse said, being invisible had its advantages, right? Those are the good parts, the good things about being invisible. There are a lot of disadvantages, things that are not so good, right? Like it's hard to have friends because they can't see you. But there are some advantages. For example, if there's a bad guy, you can kind of sneak up quietly on them and they won't know it. Then, right before the slimy sewer rat turned on the giggle gas, I had an idea. So I yelled to my partner, Swift Paws, activate fan mode. I yelled to my hero partner. As Slick Fur sprayed the giggle gas at Swift Paws, my hero partner transformed into an extra large fan. What an awesome, amazing, super smart idea. Because what will a fan do? It'll blow all that giggle gas back at Slick Fur. Wow. With a huge blast of air, the gas shot back at Slick Fur. At the same time, I leaped at Slick Fur, yanking off his gas mask. Wow. So yeah, if the gas hit him and he's wearing a gas mask, it wouldn't bother him, but you have to get the gas mask off and then he'll be like, he won't be able to stop laughing. So boy, that was really, really smart. So let's see what we had here. We had yanking off his gas mask. All right.
No, I know what yanking is.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right, so let's move to, let's see here.
Next page.
Oh, there, that's a pretty funny picture. And Swift Paws says, the joke's on you now. And here's Slick Fur. So in a matter of seconds, the evil sewer rat, two things happened, number one and number two. Number one, got blasted with the side-splitting, pink, paralyzing giggle gas. And number two, began rolling on the ground. Where did I do with my thingy? Rolling on the ground and laughing like a crazed fan at the Bent Whiskers Comedy Cellar. Good work, Super Stilton. Swift Paws congratulated me. Before we could celebrate, 1, 2, and 3 finished tying the invisibility machine onto the roof of the sludge-mobile. Uh-oh, they're still working. They're still escaping with the invisibility machine. They picked up the giggling Slick Fur and shoved him into the front of the car. Sewer rats escaping, yelled Lady Wonder Whiskers. Tony climbed behind the wheel of the sludge-mobile and began revving the motor. Vroom, vroom. So long, super saps, Tony snorted with an evil sneer. Ha, 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 ha. Thanks for testing out the invisibility machine for us. Oh no, this couldn't be happening. Let's see, I think any words on that page we need to look at?
No.
I think we're good. Big bouncing cheese balls. We've got to stop them, I yelled at the top of my lungs. And suddenly a hailstorm of cheese balls began to rain down. Boing, 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 boing. The balls hit the sludge mobile and began bouncing all over the place. My superpowers had saved the day. I think you do remember that time when that cheese milkshake, when Geronimo was up at the top of the roof and he had that cheese milkshake that kind of came out like of a hose and went everywhere, and so that they were slipping around in cheese.
Yes.
Well, here is his other superpower. We didn't know about this. I'm not sure Geronimo even knew about this. Superpower is bouncing balls of cheese, and it's activated if he yells, "Big bouncing cheese balls!" And then these big bouncing cheese balls seem to come out of the sky. My goodness, my superpowers had saved the day. The car went into a skid and crashed. So the car did not get away. My goodness. Okay, one thing I'm going to highlight here is yelling at the top of our lungs. That's something we like to say in English. A hailstorm. Oops, wrong thing here. A hailstorm. And saved the day. Maybe a skid.
I know.
All right. Do you know what a skid is?
I know.
When the car kind of slips on the road and it leaves
And boom.
tire tracks. Yeah. Okay. Crash. That was incredible, Super Stilton. You are awesome, squeaked Lady Wonderwhiskers admiringly. It was nothing, I said, turning as red as a tomato. Luckily, I was still invisible, so the rodent of my dreams couldn't tell. Unluckily, in the crash, the invisibility machine had flipped off the sludge-mobile and smashed onto the ground. Putrid provolone. Provolone is another kind of cheese. I sobbed. The invisibility machine is ruined. Now I'll be invisible forever. But what does he say, thankfully? He says,
I can fix it.
I can fix it. So there's Tony Sludge coming out of the sludge mobile. Crashed. You can see the green sewer water coming out. One thing I'm going to highlight here is as red as a tomato.
I know how it says red as a tomato.
And admiringly.
I know.
Okay.
I know how it's admiringly.
What does it mean if you admire someone?
It's like.
Do you like them and respect them, or do you like them and respect them, or do you not like them?
You accept them.
Respect them, yep. And ruined means destroyed. All right. Griff Mouse checked out the machine. Don't worry, he assured me. Okay, he says to assure someone is don't worry. I can fix it. I just need to get it back to my lab. That's the good news, Swiftpaw said. Now for the bad news. The sewer rats are gone. He pointed to the smashed up sludge mobile with the doors hanging wide open. There wasn't a sewer rat in sight. They escaped again, cried Lady Wonderwhiskers. Well, at least we got the invisibility machine back, right? I said. My super partners agreed. Finding the machine was super important, but there was still one problem. The machine was so heavy. How would we be able to transport it back to the lab? I've got it, exclaimed Swiftpaws. Costume tractor mode. So he turns into a tractor, puts the machine on it. So now we can see that Super Stilton is right here. And here's Swift Paws right here. Within seconds, Swift Paws transformed himself into a large yellow tractor. We looked up and took off. Okay, we're gonna put our star here, and I want us to look at this page. Okay, assured, and I think that's it. You know the word important, right?
I know.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop the share right here. And then I'm going to say so long.
So long, Chitter Chip.
All right, bye-bye.